legendary Romans truly indestructible. In Server 364 of Rise of Kingdoms, Elfi, the leader of the vulnerable Byzantine Empire.
The action keeps getting better and better in the Clash Royale League West as we head into our top 5 plays of week number 3. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, ring that bell, and never miss a moment as the top players from the West vie for a shot at the World Finals in Shanghai, China. Opening things up at number 5, it's the Aztec Hero from Chivas ESports, Adrian Piedra playing Goblin Giant Sparky. We're going to slow this one way down so you see this absolutely perfect zap to buy the room for Sparky to take down that right-hand tower. GG, well played, Adrian Piedra. On to number 4. It's St. Pelican. And what do you think Belly's going to do every single week? That's right, throw out a big, huge clone that I am JP, not prepared for it, just a lightning and a barb barrel, and he is absolutely disgusted with himself. Let's look at this finish up nice and close, and more importantly, look at the walk-off here from JP. He knows that's GG, well played. All you can do is throw your phone down, get the heck out of there, and regroup for next week. Pelican coming in at number 4. On to number 3, Belly back in this top 5 on the other side of one of the best in the entire world, Ruben with a beautiful bit of minor wall breakers work. And check this out, it goes minor to the back to pull the knight from the front. The knight goes all the way back around the long walk past the tower. That makes just enough room for the wall breakers to come in for a huge connection. That is just par for the course for Ruben, who has long been one of the best in all of Clash Royale. Our number 2 play, it's 2v2. SK Gaming undefeated duo Morton and Sam up against Bookmac and Azealis in the 3-0 versus 3-0 match. Winner stays undefeated, and check this out. SK is way behind, but a big connection, and look at that. The death bomb on tower. Look at the spells though. Snowball, Fireball, and Log for SK Gaming at the bottom. Tribe Gaming only has the Fireball and just used their freeze. So as we get down to the wire, 11 HP, no freeze, secure SK Gaming with the nail biter of a win. That deserves a fist bump from the Germans. GG, well played. SK Gaming 4-0 in first place going into our next week. And our top play back again to Team Queso versus Queen Royale Venice, and this is a great heads-up play from a veteran like Kuchi, who the miner comes in to get the lightning block and keep that flying machine alive. Look at this one more time. It's all about knowing your HP. Goblin Brawler, Miner, Night Witch, protecting the flying machine, making that push so much stronger. That is a top-tier play from a long-standing veteran. Guys, that's it for our top 5 plays from week 3. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, ring the bell so you never miss a moment of the great Clash Royale League West action here every single Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. in the West, 1 p.m. in the East, 7 p.m. in Europe.
I am not Simba, I am Mufasa. Roar so loud that it shakes the casa. Blowing more lines if any chasing Sasha Grey. A lot to say with Penne a la vodka. On my plate to eat it, then I spit like I believe it. Raw bile on a track, but you better believe it. When me half robot, call me General Grievous. Trying to be a millionaire, step in the Regis. Killing competitors, I'll leave your skeleton deep 6. Go too hard, you can tell when the beat hits. Write a whole page while you pencil a prefix. No joking, homie. I gotta quit smoking bogeys. Real hip-hop, never quote the phonies. USDA check what you wrote's baloney. Spaz on the track and show 'em what I'ma do. I'm a certified dude from my fitted to my shoes. Making kissy faces and bitches like Heavy LaPew. Trying to get 'em from the bar to my fucking bedroom. Asshole rap, I'm a douchebag still. Drinking like a pirate, scrap bills. Brain fucked up, 42 fat pills. If I don't got 'em, then I know I do that will. I'm nice, and I will never lose that skill. Bitch, you never heard a dude that real. When I like a fucking dragon, make love to a beat, need a bunch of magnums. Step to the rapid, call it a standoff. These Frodo baggers ain't fucking with Gandalf. Pitbull rap, I'ma bite your head off. She was a girlfriend, I was taking the pants off. Then I stuck it in her, so damn hard that she's fucking injured. Skin tone white like I'm stuck in winter. Body covered in ink like I fucked a printer. You better step, go find the stairwell. Turbulence ain't coming, hitting an air swell. Tell my haters farewell, cause them beating me, that's like seeing Paulie D without hair gel. Stay up in the booth like Snooki when she's standing. Fuck Jay Wild right here where I'm standing. We don't hit the famous while I'm on the ground and making hits. I'll lift my shirt and show 'em what the situation is. Let me take it down a notch, for real. I think a blood vessel just popped. But I'ma do it till my heart stops. Load a sniper rifle, baby, take your best shot. Right? I spit cold as Sub-Zero. I'm Hendrix, y'all just play a guitar hero. Who wasn't giving you this many free tapes? No one. I'm on a roll like a Philly cheesesteak. Ease off the flow, it's too dope. Every single quote, going ready to throw. Every single musical note that I wrote. How you bobbing your head until your neck broke. I'm the most underrated dude up in the circuit, but I'd rather be that than overrated. Final verdict is I'm nice. Say it all the time, so I know you heard it. You're my personal opinion, I'm perfect. Ha. Now who fucking web be? Bubble in the instant, you wanna test me? Get buns every day of the week, so let's see. All I gotta do is send them a poke on FB. It's me, another animal in the cage. Rapping the beat like I was Diamond Dallas Page. Hey, Connecticut's finally in place, so press the start button and watch me replay. On any motherfucker in my way, just another Jabberwocky to slay. Mayday, I got a lyrical resume and it stays shit. I forgot, I've been high for days. I climb the stage, jump out crazy as hell. Rep New England like Tom Brady himself. Take a little weird ass with some shady as well. Hit brains, used to see the way my cranium swells. Oh my god, is he openly talking about fellatio? What you think I came here to talk, you fucking crazy hoe? Get your knees, open your mouth, but we can take it slow. And usually, sorry man, that's just the way it goes. Oh, I'm really running out of breath. I'm like 4 bars away from death. So I'll give you 2 more just to show you how dope I can rap. You probably missed half the lines I said, run it back. Like I said, run it back. Like I said, run it back. Like I said, run it back.
For break time battles, so you can get on the leaderboards, you can get some swag if you're in the top 5, or of course, against a CRL Pro.
Yeah.
All right, matches this week, Rich.
Webby.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of fun for us. We talked about one of the first ones.
I've been going hard all these years, been on the low. Used to show up to the spot, they would stop me in the doubt. Now my name is hot, so they be acting like they doubt. And they leading me right through those velvet ropes. So I got them saying, oh no, the hell it with me in. Oh no, the hell it with me in. Oh no, so let me tell you friends, time to get it started, motherfucker, let the games begin. Oh, hello, I back at a ring, never fight. Hello, I swear your shades on 10. Never seen through my eyewear. No button down, but I'm seen up. So many shows and I fly there. My fans be getting them tickets quicker than pissing in public in Times Square. And nightmare on your street. Stay with a hat like corned beef, and I light it up and I breathe it in. And my blood is full of that more. Killing this and I want my grind. But this shit, I got sore feet. 24 deep on my tour bus. Rolling right outside the floor seats. I'm blowing up. What are you doing? Sitting at home with YouTube. Hating on me. Watching porn, got no degree. You're a disappointment. You blame everybody else that you never got what you hoped to be. See, I worked for you said that. I grind it out when you relay. Now you like, fuck Webby, man, yo. I should be where he's at. Wait, is that him? Did he just cut the line? Wait, where's Denny at? But I ain't gotta say nothing, cause I got a girlfriend on my lap. I've been going hard. All these years been on the low. Used to show up to the spot. They would stop me in the doubt. Now my name is hot, so they be acting like they doubt. And they leading me right through those velvet ropes. Now I got them saying, oh no, the hell it with me in. Oh no, the hell it with me in. Oh no, so run and tell your friends, time to get it started, motherfucker, let the games begin. Somebody turn my mic on, throwing that beat I can ride on. Should have been listening, cause fucking I'm spitting so cold-blooded. Icon, Connecticut open a cycle, looking at me as if I am an icon. Getting that dough like I started with Taiwan, drinking this gin, they be calling me Qui-Gon. Yeah, I started out in that small time, mixtapes in a trunk in a car that I was driving in. That Ultima, my back bumper hanging off the side, people honking at me. Get off the road. Getting pulled over so often I have my registration at all times. Hanging out my window like sorry, guy. I know I was speeding, I'm fucking high, but my plates are good and I'm fucking dry. Smoked on my weed on my way down here, ain't got no charges, fuck you, bye. Peel off of that shit, bye. So kick rocks, I'm out of here, then head back to my parents' house and get drunk until I run out of beer. But that was then, now I'm living differently. Clubs that would always turn me away, now they all let me in for free. The girls that used to blow me off, now they all on they freaking knees, still blowing me off. Only difference, now it's literally. I've been going hard, all these years been on the low. Used to show up to the spot, and they would stop me in the dough. Now my name is hot, so they be acting like they know. And they leading me right through those velvet ropes. Now I got them saying, oh no, the hell it with me in. Oh no, the hell it with me in. Oh no, so run and tell your friends, time to get it started, motherfucker, let the games begin.
You got so done. So I understand the argument that Monty was making there. This is a hard weekend to pick, Andrew. I think that our opening match is very, very close. And our closing match today between Cream and Space Station, you and I were both talking before, such a difficult one to pick. And we both need slightly close things. Yeah, and with this one, we both need slightly close to just because of how well Ruben is playing. But like you said, it can be 1 and 2 sets. You can Ruben out the king of the hill. That is the way to do it. Yes, Bale has been playing really well in that 1v1 set, but can he take down Ruben? Let's take a look at our first match of the weekend.
Crazy world we live in, man. Now more so than ever. We're at a pivotal point in history. Shit keeps going the way it's going right now.
Fucking stupid.
And I don't even want to think about it sometimes.
What the fuck are you doing?
You always got to be aware of what's going on around you. No one man or woman can change the world by themselves. Do our part, Yeah. I'm 100% made in the USA, and ain't nobody gonna change that. But how many people can we have a nuclear missiles aimed at before somebody steps up and aims back? That's how they starting to react all over the map. Got the weapons to attack for one oil contract. Average Americans are traveling man, giving a gun and boots into Iraq and Iran. US getting that oil money, that is the plan. It gets motherfuckers and bombs in the back of the van. Shit, you gotta see it from a different side. The safety of America is living a lie. Your enemies don't give a fuck if they live and they die. With bombs that can change the world in the blink of an eye. So I live for the day when I step in the ring. Cause tomorrow's definitely not a definite thing. I'm not here to change the world, I'm just doing what I do. A lot's going on right now, I'm just trying to make it through. And I'm not here to change the world, I'm just giving you a point of view. And I'ma do my part, but then it's up to you. I'm not here to change the world, I'm just doing what I do. A lot's going on right now, I'm just trying to make it through. And I'm not here to change the world, I'm just giving you a point of view. And I'ma do my part, but then it's up to you. When you at home, worry about paying the bills. Scientists working on some new ways to kill. Everybody need to light a fucking J and chill. Cause if it stays this way, be afraid for real. I'm not saying everybody gotta be best friends, but it's to the point I can't watch CNN. Or we should be going forward, we all headed backwards. If it ain't a war, it's a natural disaster. We took the world and we ripped it up. And now Mother Nature is pissed at us. And we fucking with a force that we can't control. And if we don't change something, we pay the toll. Generations before us said it's not my problem. Thanks a lot, guys, that was on us. I'm just doing what I ought to do. It's time to make a change, and it starts with you. I'm not here to change the world, I'm just doing what I do. A lot's going on right now, I'm just trying to make it through. And I'm not here to change the world, I'm just giving you a point of view. And I'ma do my part, but then it's up to you. I'm not here to change the world, I'm just doing what I do.
I really think of the way that Dignitas wins this in 2 sets. If they can win a good 2v2, and then just if I'm Dignitas, whoever goes up against Ruben, I'm just going for snipe. I'm swinging for the fences of matchup and trying to make sure that you can get what you can't play against. I think that's how Dig wins this. If this goes to the third and final set, 70-30, 80-20 chance Queso walks away with the done.
Yeah, I agree. It just seems like Ruben is just too good right now. 9-1 king of the hill and 9-3, I believe, in 1v1.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy right now. It's been a dominant performance like we've rarely ever seen from anyone in Seattle.
So here we go. Mega Knight Ram Rider even push coming in for Benny and Gucci to deal with. A lot on the board, a defensive freeze. It's going to pay off okay, but look at all that damage in and very little elixir to deal with this Ram Rider.
And that Mega Knight just stayed on the board for so long. You get the defensive freeze down, and the Mega Knight not able to get tanked all the way down, or killed all the way down. The next thing you know, tower taken, Cody going flash out to an early lead with a minute left of regulation.
Yeah, not even a double elixir yet. Cody going flash clearly in the driver's seat. Benny and Gucci just out of rhythm. They get too aggressive with that balloon push in. I get it because it seems appealing, but their opponents defend very, very efficiently. The Mega Knight comes down, 2 Ram Riders in, power down 10 seconds later.
Setting up to the left-hand side is Team Queso, balloon behind. Of course, now we know they are going for that freeze combo. Probably the graveyard freeze collection for these two. We'll see if they're able to make anything happen. So far, no lead connection with 35 seconds left.
Yeah, you see them drop those bats up high. Benny and Gucci to slow that Ram Rider down, slowing down the balloon. But the problem is just not enough tankage in front of that balloon to actually get on through to the tower. And that's going to happen again on this side. Even if the balloon were to get a drop there, it's still so far gone.
That lightning trying to make sure no damage gets in might have been a slight overspend on the part of Dignitas. And there you go. The freeze comes in. Snowball trying to save the tower. This balloon will get one shot. Can it get a second in time? And it does. It does get the second bomb. Will not do enough damage. No spell power coming in. And
Benny and Gucci finally put it together in that last push, but that's just because they got over-aggressive at single elixir. They were able to hold back a little bit, use that giant skeleton bomb to their advantage. Then they would have been able to turn up the heat as soon as they got to that 1 minute mark.
A big opening win for Cody Go and Flash, and this is exactly what they need. Start off heavy, start off hot, and get crowns in early on. Cody Go adding yet another win to his record on the season has been big for Dignitas for a long time. Benny, who the overall career wins leader for Team Queso at 46, fails to add another one in this game.
Yeah, it's hard to pass up Cody Go here for Fantasy Royale this week. Just a guy he knows going to come in the 2v2, has done great in King of the Hill, and it's been a really exciting season for Cody Go because he's faced so much adversity this season, but Dignitas is still doing so well. And a lot of that is because of the work that he put in King of the Hill, now in 2v2. It's a really exciting season for Dig because they're working really, really hard, and they're reaping the reward.
You see the freeze come in, but not able to get any value off of it. That Princess Tower by herself not going to do much to a Mega Knight, and a few more big swings coming in. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And you spend that kind of elixir on defense, you expect to get some big jobs out of it. Really put a stop to the push to the opposite lane. It really ended up doing almost nothing for Queso.
And all of the units that were out of cycle for Queso were their highest DPS units. Both the Musketeers, both the Lumberjacks, the Skeletons even, all of these things, the Bats. Any of that coming in late helped assist the freeze to take that Mega Knight off the board. That's what they do. But they spent so heavily at the bridge trying to support that balloon push. Just like we talked about, the freeze comes down, but the Princess Tower is not going to take down that beefy Mega Knight. Of course, Dignitas does the smart thing. They wait to see what mistakes Queso were going to make, and then they send in that last second, completely make it down to 0 Ram Rider to take the tower.
Yeah, there's nothing in its way, nothing to stop it. Pretty easy win for Dig here in game number 1. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. The Owls having the lead as we go into the second game of our opening set.
Benny and Gucci have been playing together and have been playing competitively for so very long. I need to see some of that poise, that confidence, that calm, that veteran know-how of just slowing the game down a second. We all know it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, that's what's interesting and so strange about Gucci and Benny is, we talked about the struggles of teams like, for example, Liquid this season, where you have lots of veterans but no synergy, not experience playing together, so some strange mistakes happen. You don't expect these kind of big stretch this thin, these types of overspend, these kind of mistakes from a duo that's played together for 5 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where you really wonder what's happening. It seems like their evolution, or their relationship's almost been devolving instead of evolving. There's still time left this season. There's still this game and this set left, so let's see what Gucci and Benny can do.
Giant skeletons both first there. Good pickup by Dignitas.
Yeah, still security, as you can see, used by all 4 players. Even with that slight nerf, still very, very firmly in this 2v2 meta, and you understand why. It provides a lot of utility. You get, oh my good lord, a very, very poorly timed defensive freeze. Yeah, that was, I think it froze nothing, 0 things frozen, and that's kind of want a thing to be frozen at some point. So 11:06. Wow.
Back-to-back games, back-to-back misplayed defensive freeze.
Yeah, I mean, the first one, at least they locked the unit down, but they didn't support it. Now, this one, it's just a complete whip. Really, really tough here for Kuchi and Benny. Now they're going to need to bounce back, being behind in power damage and behind in elixir for the rest of this game.
And you have mortars down both sides. Good control from one side and a late drop on the other. Kuchi and Benny just cannot get it together here in 2v2. And Andrew, you and I were talking about our plans for Fantasy Royale before we got into the day, and we were discussing whether Kuchi was a pick. A lot of people are picking him for Fantasy Royale this week because of having the double duty. But this kind of gameplay for 2v2 is why I think it's a sit rather than a play.
Yeah, and maybe you're going to be the one that comes out with more points. I figured Kuchi's a guy that can do it in 2v2, and he always comes in king of the hill. That's why I rostered him. But with these plays today, it's really tough. He's locked in for my doubleheader, and I don't know. I'm almost without words because it doesn't really make a lot of sense, the plays that have happened here. The missed freeze on defense, just a lot of stuff going wrong, and missing that mortar pickup, it doesn't really make sense.
Graveyard freeze into the left-hand side, doesn't get much for it. And now Dark Prince Skeleton Dragons graveyard into the left-hand side. Poison on defense for that, but poison on offense on the Musketeer as well.
And Cody and Flash are going to do the right thing. You see that Musketeer set up in the back to help play defense and just chill. They do not need to do anything that even remotely resembles aggressive for the rest of this minute 40. They just sit back, get spell damage when they can, and throw in the naked graveyard when they're off in elixir.
Aggressive push on the right-hand side, but Giant Skeleton more than the task. This is a decent freeze, and the log will clean that up enough that Dignitas is not too worried about that right-hand tower. Here we go, final minute 23:48 on the left-hand side, and going graveyard one more time. Not quite in spell cycle range yet, Andrew, but very close.
Yeah, that double graveyard drop there, I believe, with the help of the snowball, should be enough to take it out. If not, there goes the poison. Cody going Flash, no, it's already said and done. Wrapped up with the bow, 2 up and 2 down. Let's go, Dignitas Bridge. This is exactly what you were mentioning at the top of the match. Now that they've taken this 2v2 set handedly, easily, without any contest, does Dignitas just take this match down?
I mean, it all comes down to Ruben, in my opinion. Look, JP could get hot today. We've been waiting for IMJP to get hot on Team Queso's side. Team Queso's waiting for it. He's 2-4 this season so far. Today could be the day that JP gets hot. But if JP doesn't get hot, and you guys can, and Dignitas can get through the King of the Hill lineup the first 2 and get to Ruben quickly, man, I don't know. It gets difficult. Do I give Ruben the advantage over any player on Dig? Yes. But a best of one, all you need is one big matchup, and you send the superstar back to the bench.
And I have to remind you guys, we're taking a look at these replays. Honestly, the replays in this game are just kind of tough to watch. You see this first one, the missed freeze. I don't know if we'll get the missed mortar as well, but it's kind of just, adding insult to injury at this point, because these are plays that you don't make at 4K. Those are mistakes that you don't make when you're starting the game off, just because they don't make sense. Picking up a mortar, missing a freeze, are just straight up mental mistake. We hope not to see again for Team Queso. Back to what we were just talking about, the King of the Hill and the head-to-head in the 1v1. Let's talk a little bit about Bale, though. Bale on the other side of it, he's taking down Adrian 2-0, Igor 2-1, and Pedro 2-1 in his last 3 1v1 sets. So Dignitas is comfortable playing back up against the wall, must-win situation. And Bale, ever since their first match, has been delivering the way that they expected when they rostered him. Yes, Ruben has the advantage over everyone, but this kid is hot right now, Rich.
Yeah, it is hard to evaluate Bale right now, because you look at 3 sets in a row, and you look at those names, and you go, oh, these are big names. But Pedro's been off of his game this season. Adrian's been off of his game for a couple of seasons. And Igor is not playing like Igor right now and hasn't really been since the summer. So if they do go to the 1v1, which is a good chance, this will be the biggest test for Bale. This will be the real test for Bale. And
And this will tell us a lot, not just about Bale, but about the three players I just mentioned. Yeah, and then, the lineups most likely will be, I think, Flash, Bale, Codigo maybe feels like what they've gone with. They did Ford Elite in last match. He almost picked up the sweep. So maybe Elite actually pops his head in again. And of course, for Team K, you can imagine it will be Gucci. About the order, do we go IMJP, then Ruben, then Gucci? That's such a hard one, right? You give Ruben into the mix earlier, you run the risk of Ruben having to play all three games.
I said that there was going to be trouble, but you didn't listen to me. You guys are crazy.
KO Production. Yeah. Webster. There's about to be some motherfucking trouble when I'm stepping out the huddle. Got these bitches shaking it like they doing the truffle shuffle. All the dudes up in the spot are steady bobbing their head, hanging on to every fucking syllable that I said. Got a double shot of whiskey on ice, Tara Lipinski, but fuck, I've been drinking so much that shit'll barely hit me. Papa Zany and go 0 to 60 until I'm blacking out. Wake up in jail and have to call my cousin Vinny. I'm a skinny guinea, tattoos on my skin, shit I got plenty. Brain cells in my head, I'm missing many. I've lost it already. If you coming in with me, you better come correct the shit. It's right off with his head beat. Do him like Marie Antoinette when I slam the set. A handsome vet, that's why your girl's pants are wet. My competition ain't gonna even have a chance to sweat, cause now I'm on and their plans are wrecked. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. Homie, that's a fact. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. You can count on that. I'm cold as Mr. Frosty. Icicles be falling off, be flowing potent as the poison that they slip to King Joffrey. Wake up and get to work until my cereal is soggy, cause I'm out on my hustle. Got these haters so salty that the sodium levels are through the roof. You would think they were drinking ocean water, really, to tell you the truth. I fucking had it with these kids who criticize what I do. Come and see me, you'll end up on the sole of my shoe. See, at first I was aight, but I got better with practice, and now I'm only fucking chicks that look like Jessica Rabbit. Shit, I've been crazy since I first opened the medicine cabinet. Experimented, now I got a hell of a habit. Nah, yo, I'm kidding, I exaggerate the truth, cause Mom, if you're listening, I swear I don't do drugs. I had my fingers crossed, homie, pass the weed, and if you want trouble, follow me. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. Homie, that's a fact. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. You can count on that. Baby, I'm a troublemaker. Bitches always how it's been. I'ma be one to the end. Baby, I'm a troublemaker. That's just what I am. Don't make me say it again. I've been insane in the head since I played in a pen. Now I'm on the mic, so yo, the game has began. All my enemies have started shaking and ran. Fuck it, I'll just let them marinate in the pan. Say, you know I'm about to eat these motherfuckers with a fork and a spoon. What with the force, they can feel it when I walk in the room. Coming down the temple of doom, so dirty I need to be swept with a broom. My foot's up on a pedal and vroom. The quarterback, yeah, of course I'm back, homie, and it's more than rap. Shit, I'm so sharp, the microphone has got a sword attached. And you Luca Brazzi's heading where the dolphins at. Better bring your motherfucking snorkel, man. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. Homie, that's a fact. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble. You can count on that.
The graveyard is supposed to come down a little bit later this time, so some okay defense, but with that, I want you to look at it fairly significantly. More for the left, is there action time? Yes, there is. Bar time really, really frustrating there. We'll look here with the Shelly Barrel, but you got that bar barrel watching later, I'm sure. And then Donovan behind you, then on the hard barrel hideout. Let's go one point range, and that's something about this drop. You can put a lot of damage behind the board very quickly. The fact that this can easily do it is very, very easy. Yeah, that's one of the hardest things about mortar damage. Is it feels like you're opposed to the exact same cycle of your offense. And you gotta figure out a way to disrupt that.
Now ain't nobody fucking with a really. With a couple bad bitches and suckers silly. For the rockin', I've been living like a box out of Philly. And I'm running up the rocket stand. Lucky that I got it here. A little pocket important. Now that's a last swag, full price for half a bag. Young and I have nothing, I ain't never going back to that. Wherever we go, you know we get casinos. Making money off your fucking reservations like casino. My bitches never need clothes cause they cover the weed smoke. My memory is foggy, I've forgotten how to be broke. They know we hungry, how we roll around. Like the hand of me just cause he's only trying to hold us down. Latinos growing that, every show is showing that. Y'all are fucking crazy trying to slow us down.
Solely relying on yourself to create that pressure. Yeah. The fire down, and I love what I am making do it all. When's the last time you told me to on radio? When's the last time you